we have the Altra Escalante 2.0 and 2.5. I've never owned an Escalante before, so I'm excited to get into them, and I'm going to compare the differences between the two versions. The 2.0s were released in the summer of 2019, the 2.5s the summer of 2020, so the price difference there of getting the older versions, you're going to get them for about half the price, so it's really worth looking at what the differences are and why you might want to go with one over the other. Let's start with the outsole. Very simple comparison. They look exactly the same. And they feel exactly the same. They probably are exactly the same. Going to the midsole. The midsole, actually, if you look at the white kind of pattern there, it's exactly the same pattern, so it looks exactly the same. The feel of it when you step onto it feels the same as well, but something is going on there that is very, very different. Let's look at the 2.0, flexibility. I can bend it there a little bit at the ball of the foot, torsion. You can flex it a little bit there, so it's kind of flexible. The 2.5s are ridiculous. You can bend these up and put them in your pocket. They are ridiculously, the torsion bend is crazy, and I'm not putting any pressure on that at all, really, and it's really bending quite nicely. So if you really, really want a flexible shoe, flexible sole, the 2.5s are giving it to you. The 2.0s, I'm very surprised that they were just so inflexible. Even my Brooks Ghost, I was getting some flexibility there. Of course, these ones have been running for quite a while. My Brooks Launch 6, again, pretty flexible, but the 2.0s, stiff. Maybe it'll loosen up as you get going. Let's compare the uppers of the 2.0s and the 2.5s. Both of them have that knit upper. You will notice that it's kind of knit around, and on the 2.0s it gets stiffer though. So right around here, it's not really that same nice knit sock-like feel that you get at the toe. It's something much more stiffer, not really elasticy at all. Probably not really breathable either, which is very different than the 2.5s. The 2.5s kind of keep that sock-like material all the way around, so it really feels different when you step into these ones. Super comfortable, super sock-like. If you ever run in like a Nike Freeze, that's what you're getting. Kind of like a fly knit almost material. Very, very, very comfortable to step into. Not as much support. You know, that stuff isn't as stiff. It doesn't really support your ankle as much. I myself have kind of bad ankles. I might be leaning towards this for a little bit more support at that upper versus this one where it's just going to be all relying on whatever your ankle is strong enough to do. Both of them have it well padded here around the ankle. This is called sort of a collar on the ankle. So it's padded there. Same thing on the 2.0, so you're going to notice that as well. Probably a little bit more padding, more plush on the 2.5s. Something I noticed on the tie-up as you're lacing it up, I'm super particular about how I lace up my shoes. With the 2.0s, as I was tightening, if I kind of over-tighten the bottom here, I really feel the pressure coming in on the tops of my foot over these two eye holes. I laced them up a little differently then and kind of kept it looser at the bottom and still got really tight up top. And that felt a lot better, so I didn't really feel too much there anymore, but just a warning in case, just something to mention. The 2.5s, by contrast, once I started tightening up that bottom, I kind of went tighter, and those eye holes got pretty much over top of each other really quickly on my foot. And I have a pretty wide foot there. But yeah, so you can see the extra material kind of bunches up here. So it's kind of weird. I didn't like that very much. Maybe the issue here, they tried to overcorrect it over here, I'm not sure. But as you lace them up, you will kind of notice, you may notice that. And when you're talking about the design of the shoe from far, they look very, very similar. Like I mentioned, that this is more mesh-like, more fly knit style, so this is a little bit nicer, I would think, to look if you're looking at like wearing it as more of a casual shoe. But if you're looking to wear these Escalantes as a casual shoe, you probably have a very different fashion sense than most. A couple design points that I thought were kind of cool on the 2.0s. You see at the top of the tongue, a little bit of red accent flare there. They match it as well on the ends of the laces. That little red design is a nice touch. On the Ultra 2.5s, just plain white or black, so no accent red there. So there's your overall comparison. The 2.0s, less flexible, The 2.5s, ridiculously flexible, and the upper, as I mentioned, much more of the fly knit, the looser top, and this thing a little more rigid and structured for you at the top, holding your ankle. Probably a little bit less breathable. So those are the differences. Ultimately, I'm going to go with the 2.0s. Like I said, I've never owned a pair of Escalantes before. I'm a little nervous about getting into them. Am I going to love them when I really get out there on the road and put in miles after miles on them? So I'm going to go with these, the 2.0s. It's going to be half the price for me, which is nice as I try these new shoes and new different types of shoes. It's nice to be able to get there at like a $50, $60 entry point rather than like $130. Do a couple runs and maybe you don't like them. So for those reasons, I'm sticking with the 2.0s. I'm going to try these out. I'm going to send these back, and I'll make a video a little later once I get my miles under me and let you know how they run. Thanks for watching. I know my production value here isn't fantastic, but this is a comparison. I tried to find the comparison online. I couldn't find it, so I wanted to do the comparison, get it out there in case anybody else was going through the same types of questions that I had. And I'm super interested in seeing how shoes kind of transition from version to version. So not just a review of a shoe, but really digging into the differences as they go from each version or each half version in this case. Thanks for watching. I'll take a look at every comment there is below, so feel free to message me if you have any questions or comments about this video. And I'm excited to try the Escalantes. I hope you are too, and I hope this video helped you find the right one.